Hello, what's going on? Resident Game here, and today we are going to be opening packs of the newest Magic expansion. And no, we're not opening physical packs, we're opening them on Magic Duels because I don't feel like going out and buying a box for $100 right now. I'll do it, in a couple weeks. Anyways, let's just go to the store, get our boosters. I got about 4k gold. Almost enough for 32. Firm purchase. Oh man, I wish I could just go back and buy more right now, but okay, we're doing this. Open booster. First booster. Okay, we got Life Fast. You draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, and get 2 energy. That's actually pretty decent, I guess. Nah, it's a common, so it's not going to be the best, but oh well. Cathartic Reunion. Sorcery speed, like the last one. As an additional cost to cast, discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards. Not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I guess if your deck does revolve around Graveyard Synergy, it's an alright card, but I don't really like decks like that, so I probably never really use it. But yeah, I mean, I'd understand, but I mean, it's kind of understandable to discard 2 cards. However, I'd like a lot better if it was draw 3 cards and then discard 2 cards, because that gives you a lot more worth, because if you don't draw anything good, then you can discard it. I mean, that's what I like about this, but that one don't really like. I mean, it is common, so don't expect anything from it. Ornamental Courage. Untap target creature gets +1/+3 until end of turn. It's not bad. It's pretty good. I mean, it's instant speed, so you know what? Guy starts stacking you, just flip it up, and like, hey man, look, I got a big butt. Okay, then we got, we're moving on to our actual uncommons, Unlicensed Disintegration. Cost 3 mana. Black and red and colorless, or actually any, technically, because colorless, man, is a new mana archetype now, even though this, it kind of dies as it lived in, well, actually that's waste, but still, oh gosh, it kind of died and lived in that one expansion. I did not like it, though. I was glad that did not really stay permanent. Destroy target creature. If you control an artifact, it deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. That's actually pretty decent, at 3 mana. Artifact destruction, it's kind of like Kolaghan's command a bit, but not as good. But still, I mean, with all the artifacts I've been seeing, from playing campaign, it makes sense. It's actually going to be pretty well used, I bet. Or not really well used, but it's going to be a pretty good thing to use. Especially because you most likely have an artifact. And that's a 3 mana kill spell. That's still pretty decent. I mean, most things are 3 mana kill spells for creatures. Or is it 2? I can't really remember, it's been a while. But yeah, the instant speed's pretty good. And we have Gear Shift Ace, 2 mana, white and colorless, first strike. Whenever Gear Shift Ace crews a vehicle, that vehicle gains first strike. And vehicles, if you guys don't know, are like little things that you tap creatures down and you have to equal the attack to the thing. Like, it'll give you crew 3 or something, and you have to tap guys to get power of 3 or greater. That's pretty good. And then we got a legendary creature, Pedum, Console of Innovation, 4 mana, a blue and 3 colorless. Artifacts you control have Hexproof, which is actually pretty good to support a lot of artifacts this expansion, it seems like. I haven't actually even looked at the card list, so a lot of this stuff's new to me too. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact with the highest converted mana cost, or tied for the highest converted mana cost, draw a card. That's actually pretty cool, because if you're playing big artifacts, then you're going to start, drawing cards off that, and that's just a good thing. Next booster. Oh, what do we get? Ooh. Nimble Innovator. 3 colorless and a blue. Creature Artificer. When Nimble Innovator enters the battlefield, draw a card. Not bad, but I mean, 4 mana for a 2/2, I think there's a lot better stuff right now. Live Fast, 3 mana. We already went through this. Decent card, I think, but probably not going to play too much. It might be a bit of a iffy card. You know what? If you need something to fill up your board, it's going to be an okay card to play. Larger Than Life. Target creature gains +4/+4 and gains trample until end of turn. 2 mana. Common quality, 2 mana. Sorcery speed, but still 4/4. That's pretty good. I mean, I'm really liking a lot of these commons for green. I might actually play a lot of green this season for, you know, Magic Origins, or not Magic Origins, Magic Duels Online. Even though like the thing like at the top of one you can't see this, but it says Magic Origins, so it's like Magic Origins came out a while ago. Okay. Now let's get to the uncommons. Nature's Way, 2 mana, green, and colorless. Target creature you control gains Vigilance, Trample until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. It's actually pretty good because that's dealing its damage to something that's not actually even blocking you. So I'd say, I mean, this is sorcery speed, so kill a blocker and then force him to either decide if he wants to block it with another thing. I mean, you can take a pretty big creature of that. That's actually pretty good for an uncommon. Durable Handicraft, colorless and a green. Enchantment, whenever a creature you control enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. So that's pretty good. You know what? You're playing off creatures like for this whole artifact thing and the artificer thing. Gonna be seeing off synergy with people like getting things out, putting 1/1 on their little Thopters in the air or their artificers, because not artificers, the gosh, I forget what that is. The little ground 1/1s that you can either put 1/1 counters on. Do not remember the name of the mechanic. I'm probably gonna say in like 10 seconds from now, guys. So don't worry, we're gonna get into that again. And then pay 6, sacrifice Durable Handcraft, put a 1/1 counter on each creature control. So I mean that's like a last ditch effort. You know what? You want to get a little bit of extra damage out, put a 1/1 counter on all those creatures. Work out pretty well, but it costs 6 mana, which is a bit expensive. But this is more a late game thing to do when you have a huge board. And our rare was Blistering Hydra, 2 colorless, 2 green, for a total of 4 mana when it enters battlefield. But 3 energy counters. Energy counters, another new thing this expansion. Essentially, it's another thing that you keep track of, and you can do some pretty crazy things with energy. Like, see down here, it says pay 3 energy, put a 1/1 counter on the Hydra. It gains hexproof until end of turn. So that's a permanent 1/1 counter and also gaining hexproof. So if this becomes target of a spell, I'd say just use those 3 things, make a hexproof till end of turn. Be careful with this though, because someone may be waiting for you to actually activate that at the end of your turn. Like, let's say you have a card in your hand, give your guy another 3/3. But you also have to remember, this is not just a one-time turn of thing. This is something that you can do multiple times turn. So I'd say just save up until you actually plan on putting it, like, you know what, putting that 1/1 counter on. Either becomes target of a spell, or you know what, you're attacking with it, they block, it gets a little bit bigger. You know, just add that 1/1 counter, just throw you over the top so you don't die. It'll be good. Like I said before, guys, just start stacking up that energy, because this is something that can be used at any time, any turn. It's instant speed, and it can be used multiple times unless specified otherwise, which I don't think there's any card that specifies you can only do it once. Unless, you know, it's like attack you can pay. Yeah, I mean, there's a few exceptions, but we'll talk about that later. Next pack. Jeez, I'm talking 1,000 words a minute. Okay. Looks like we have a few little returners. Okay, so we have Vedalken Blademaster, 2 colorless and a blue for a total of 3 mana. Prowess, 2/3, pretty decent for a common. Aether Trade Winds, 2 colorless and a blue again, for a total of 3 mana. It's instant speed spell. Sorry, I don't know, I'm kind of going like back and forth. Return target permanent you control and target permanent you don't control to their owner's hands. That's pretty good. You know what? You got your guy that you want to trigger an ability off of again for pretty good value, or it becomes target ability. Or, you know what, you're in combat and you know what, you just don't want to take the damage from 2 guys. So you block, return to your hand, return the other thing to their hand before damage goes off, and bing bada boom. Ah, jeez. Then we got the Self-Assembler, 5 mana, colorless, all of it. When Self-Assembler enters battlefield, you may search your library for an assembly worker creature card, which, you know, it's a pretty good thing. You know, this is going to be finding things. Put into your hand, shuffle your library. 5 mana for a 4/4, but you also have a search that is pretty decent, I guess. Then we got another 5 mana, one that I actually loved using campaign. Arborok Backstomper. This costs 3 colorless and 2 green. Creature Beast, trample. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 5 life. That's pretty good, especially if you're in a tight situation late game. And it's a 5/4 of trample, which is pretty good for 5 mana. Then we got the Long Tusk Cub, another card I enjoyed using in campaign. Cost colorless and a green for a total of 2 mana. When it deals combat damage, you get 2 energy counters. So this is going to be a way that you actually end up generating energy. Pay 2, you put a 1/1 counter on this thing, and that's a permanent 1/1 counter. So you can just start stacking this guy up. You can also use energy from other creatures you play. I think that's actually a pretty good card. I'm going to be like I said before, I think I'm going to be playing green this expansion, maybe mono green, maybe splash in blue, because I'm getting some pretty decent blue cards that look like going to be some fun shenanigans, bowl with them, or might do green-red. I don't know yet, guys. Then we got, another Padim console innovation. Not going to explain what that does again. Oh gosh, I'm already talking way too much. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. I mean, I know my mic's on mute. If my mic was mute, I'd just fall down fainting. We got another Aether Trade ones. We know what that does already. Don't have to worry about that. Then we got Thriving Rats, a colorless and a black. It's a rat creature for all you guys who love rats out there. When Thriving Rat enters the battlefield, you gain 2 energy. Whenever Thriving Rat attacks, you can pay 2 energy if you do put a 1/1 counter on it. So this is what I was talking about, guys. Some energy creatures give you that May effect on attack. You can only pay that cost once, unlike your other guys before that we could pay the 2 at any time, as many times as we want, as long as we have the energy for it. This is a one-time activation fee during an attack phase. Puts a permanent 1/1 counter on it. Pretty decent for a 1/2 rat that, essentially it's a 2/3. I'd consider it a 2/3 rat for 2 mana. It's pretty good. Then we get the Ruinous Gremlin for 1 red. Essentially, this is like a red version of that little, the Caustic Caterpillar. Except I don't think it's as good. Or that lion. Yeah, but I mean, I don't really like this one this much. I mean, 3 mana, destroy target artifact. With all the artifacts bringing me the expansion, I mean, it's a pretty good card if you need the artifact removal, but I think there's a lot of substitutes that you can use instead of this card. We got another Long Tusk Cub. Excited about that because I actually like this card. I really hope we get placed out of all the ones that we open. Then we got a Wisp-Weaver Angel, 4 colorless and 2 white. That's an expensive card for 6 mana. It's a flying creature angel. It's a 4/4. When Wisp-Weaver Angel enters the battlefield, you may exile another creature card you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Not sure how I feel about this. That's an expensive card for that effect. I mean, if it had Flash, I'd pay another additional mana for this card if it had Flash, or if it was like a Banisher Priest kind of deal where it exits the battlefield until my creature leaves the battlefield. I'd actually really like that. Yeah, but I mean, if you have 2 of these things on the field, can you technically generate like an infinite number, like an infinite loop? Because this point it enters the battlefield. So, wait. Yeah, so I mean, you could technically do an infinite loop of Wisp-Weaver Angels if you play 2 of these. I'd actually like to play around with that and see how it works, because if you have anything that has a really good enter the battlefield effect, you can just start comboing these guys. That's going to be a shenanigan play. I'm actually going to, we might actually build that deck. I was thinking this card thinking it's an alright card, and then I saw it's like another target creature. This is not a legendary creature though, so we can play 2 of these guys. Turn 6 play this guy, confuse the guy. It's like, okay, so you just return some random thing. You know what? It's also really good for getting something back that either has an enchantment on it or is under the effect of, like, some mind control effects. That's pretty good. Then we have a Gurfer Ori. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's a weird word. I'm going to check my phone real quick because it is around 11 o'clock. Making sure my friend didn't call me. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh, he did text me. Oh, gosh, sorry, I'm pausing the video right here. Sorry about the interruption. I'm back, guys. Sorry for the random interruption in there. I had to check my phone. I have a friend coming over later. Apparently he's gonna be here around anytime from now to like 11:30. So If you guys didn't know, it's like 11:30 or it's 11 o'clock at night for me right now. So let's go over this card. It's a 4-mana artifact. Each player may play an additional land on each of his or her turns. That's pretty good if you're playing a land deck. So if you're playing green, that's pretty fun. But not fun if you're also playing against green, as green. Or if you have like a lot of big creatures. This card's actually pretty good. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, that player draws 3 cards. This is a double-edged sword, guys. I mean, this could be fun to play if you're one of those guys who wants to get down his entire hand. If you're a very fast player, this is a card to play. If you have a lot of really big creatures and want to get out those lands, it's another good card to play. But this is a card that's essentially saying, I'm going to empty my hand every turn. But it's also a double-edged sword because you're also giving that other guy an additional 3 cards to draw. So I'd be careful with this card, but it seems like a fairly decent card. It's just a double-edged sword. Moving on. Oh gosh. No mythics yet. Oh man. Okay, we got another Blade Master. We already know what that does. Got another Courage. Know what that does. Ardara Express. It's a 5-mana artifact vehicle. This is what I was talking about earlier. Another new mechanic vehicles. Menace and Crew 4. So, I don't know if you guys can read this or not. But essentially, what it says is tap any number of creatures you control with total power of 4 or more. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. So that's an 8/6 artifact creature until end of turn. That's pretty fun. It also has Menace, 5 mana. You know what? You have to tap a whole bunch of people down. But you know what? It could be fun. It could be. I mean, it's an 8/6 for 5 mana. So you know, why not? I think it's a decent card. And we got another vehicle, guys. I like these vehicles. They seem like a pretty fun mechanic to play around with. We got a Oval Chase Dragster, 4 mana. Artifact vehicle, Trample and Haste, Crew 1. It's a 6/1. Jeez, that's pretty interesting, actually. So essentially, you know what? You play this on turn 4. You tap down your 1/1 Ornithopter. Or you tap, not Ornithopter, sorry. You tap down your 1/1 Thopter, not Ornithopter, just a Thopter. And now you have a 6/1 of Trample and Haste on turn 4. If he doesn't have any blockers, this could be deadly. Oh gosh, and the other guys, you know, we got another Long Tusk Cub, almost the place that we're looking for, guys. And we got another Blistering Hydra. Okay, next pack. Let's see if we can finally pull a Mythic. Are there even Mythics in this expansion? I don't know anymore. Okay, we got a Glint Sleeve Artisan, 2 colorless and a white for a total of 3 mana. Fabricate 1. This is the thing that I was talking about before. I thought we'd find a lot faster, but we didn't. So essentially, this will put either a 1/1 counter on the creature, so this is a 3 mana for a 3/3, or a 3 mana for a 2/2 and a 1/1, because you can also instead choose to play a 1/1 colorless Servo, or Sarav artifact, creature token. So, I mean, depending on what situation you're in, and what kind of card it is, this could work either way. If you need more creatures, you know what? Like, let's say you played this guy turn 3, and then you played your little cannon thing we saw, the Dragster, turn 4, haste it, tap this 1/1 Servo, 1/1 garbage artifact creature on the field, and then just maul him down with a 6/1 with haste and trample. Okay, then we got an Acrobatic Maneuver, 2 colorless white, sorry, running out of breath, guys. I'm speaking a billion words a minute. Jeez. So it's a total of 3 mana, exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Works a bit like that Angel, except we cannot do an infinite loop with this, but you also get to draw a card, so that's fairly worth. Sorry about that, but card draw is very important, guys. If you guys haven't really done card draw, or if you guys are fairly new Magic, card draw is your best friend. I mean, if you don't have that many ways to generate card draw, then this is probably a pretty good card for you, especially if you combo with something with a really good Enter the Battlefield effect. Because that Enter the Battlefield effect will trigger again if you exile your creature and turn under your control again, or you could possibly use this to regain a captured target, or a, you know what, creature has a whole bunch of debuffs on it, or negative enchantments, whatever. I don't know, I've been playing all of WoW, so I've, you know, debuffs on mind. We got another Marauder. Oh gosh, I mean, I'm just recording this straight, guys. This is not pre-recorded, so I'm giving myself enough time to talk about all these cards individually. Ardara Express, I mean, you guys are going to laugh at all these random bloopers in the middle of this. It has Menace Crew 4. We know the drill on that one. We got Aether Hub. Land whenever Aether Hub enters the battlefield to get a energy. I can tap to add a colorless mana to my mana pool. Or I may pay 1 energy and add one of any color mana to my mana pool. So that's a way to get any kind of mana. You know what? You're running a little low on mana and you want to get a little bit of color. You know, like let's say you're running a 3-color deck or something. I'd probably run this card just because, as long as it combos well with energy synergy. That's actually a pretty fun run. Energy synergy. But if you're running a deck like that, you know, 3-color energy synergy deck, this is a pretty good land base for you. And we also got a Blossoming Defense, which costs 1 green. Instant speed. Target creature you control gains 2/2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. Pretty good thing to counter, you know what, a kill spell. Or, you know what, they got a big thing, you want a bigger thing. You know, it's a pretty decent card to play. Then we got, Ovia Pashari, Sage Lifecrafter, another legendary creature. 1 mana though. I actually love 1 mana legendary creatures. This is another reason why I'm probably going to play the green this expansion. I love all these green cards. So, 2 and a green, tap, create a 1/1 colorless artifact creature token. 4 and a green, so that total of 5 mana tap this creature. Create a XX colorless construct artifact creature token, where X is the number of creatures you control. That's actually pretty awesome. I actually like this card. Hopefully we open a few more of them. It's interesting seeing non-mythic quality cards. Okay, we got an Avery Mechanic colorless Plains. It's whenever it enters the battlefield, you may return another permanent you control to its owner's hand. Not as good as that, you know what, you exile it and then return it again to the battlefield under your control. But still a pretty fun card to play. So essentially this is another way to get your thing that has a huge debuff on it, or a huge, you know, bad negative enchantment on it. Or, you know, get something that your opponent stole from you, or get something that your opponent has that you want them to recast. So, it could also be used as a turn waster. Oh, wait, no, wait. Oh, wait, you control. Sorry. Oh, gosh, I really messed it up. Sorry, that's another blooper. I'm actually just knowing, you know, I don't feel like editing this video. Sorry about that, guys. You guys are probably laughing at me. You're probably going to timestamp that and laugh at me even more. I'm sorry, it's target creature, or target permanent you control. So, unless you want to, you know what, give the effect of another card back out there, like an enchantment or a creature. Or, you know what, like, so far I don't really like these cards unless they have flash, because it's kind of it's really good at getting rid of those negative enchantments, but technically, your opponent will still own that enchantments in case they have any enchantment synergy. I got another Thriving Rats. We got a Cowl Prowler. 4 colorless and 2 green for a total of 6 mana. It's a worm creature. Did I drop my phone again? Oh well, I'll pick it up later. It's a 6/6 worm. Worms are always fun, but I do not really like them. It's a common. So if you really need the, you know, the green, or if you really need the big creature, maybe use this card. But I do not really like worms. I mean, if I was playing draft though, and I needed a late game, I'd probably pick this worm up. But anyways, in terms of this game, because there is no draft, I really wish there was a draft in this game. I'd love to play draft on this version. You know what? Put us into a draft term. That'd be awesome. I really have to write Blizzard, or not Blizzard. I'm thinking Hearthstone right now for some reason. I really have to, like, you know what, like, start a little forum, see if we can actually get the fan base in here and get all that done. Anyways, let's move on to the next card. We got a Shrewd Negotiator, 4 colorless and a blue for a total of 5 mana. It's a sorcery speed spell. Exchange control of a target artifact you control and a target artifact or creature you don't control. So guys, you could trade your 1/1 crappy servo for a, you know what, a 6/6 artifact construct if they're running that green card. That is kind of trolly. 5 mana though, so this is a very situational card. If I was playing standard, this might be sideboardable. Not sure though. But you know, we don't actually get a sideboard in this, So this is kind of run at your own risk. I mean, I'd rather see how the meta is doing. If you see a lot of people running, big artifact creatures or big creatures in general, because this doesn't have to be an artifact creature or, interesting artifacts, pretty decent card to play. 5 mana, though, is a pretty steep curve, but you can get so much worth out of it, so it might be good, but only in the late game. Then we got Refurbish, sorcery speed, 3 colorless, and a white for a total of 4 mana. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So guys, that's an instant from the graveyard to the battlefield. It's not to your hand. So for 4 mana, that's actually pretty well worth it, especially if it's a really big artifact, because you're not paying that cost again. You're just paying 4 mana for it. So let's say you had huge artifact, discarded it, played this on turn 4, brought it back. Not really sure what big artifacts are in this expansion, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple that you could use. I remember playing a 7-cost artifact, so I can easily put that onto the field from the graveyard. So that's pretty cool. Then we have a Master Trinketeer, which is our rare for the pack. 2 colorless and a white. Servos and Thopters you control get +1/+1. So that's pretty good for artifact synergy. Especially if you're running servos and Thopters. And it has a 4, create a 1/1 artifact servo, artifact creature token, which, guys, it's a pretty good mana sink, so that's a pretty decent card. Not legendary, so you can run as many as you want. Or not as many as you want, you can run a total of 4, but you can have as many as you can have in the game on the field at once. So you can have a total of 4 on the field at once, giving your guys your 1/1s into 5/5s, and you also have other artifact cards. Let's move on to the next pack, though. Still no mythic. Okay, we got another Blade Master. We got a High Tide Hermit. It's a 5 mana card. 4 colorless and a blue. Defender. When this Hermit enters the battlefield, you gain 4 energy. Pay 2, and it can attack this turn as if it did not have a defender, except if you do not pay that, it has a defender. So this is a defender creature. 4/4 though, so that's a pretty decent blocker. And also the fact that they're getting 4 energy out of this, I'd probably just keep this as a blocker unless I need, that extra 4 damage for something. But it's a pretty strong blocker. Only got a Nuranam Cobra, 2 mana, 2 both colorless. Pay green, so guys, if you are running this, make sure you have green in your deck, or that has, oh gosh, that energy synergy. Nuranam Cobra gains Death Touch until end of turn. It's a 2/1 artifact creature snake. Death Touch for 2 mana, or technically looks like a 3 mana Death Touch. But remember, guys, you can activate that at any time, so it's a decent card. Not really sure if I'd ever run it. I'd see how it's looking. It's pretty good, It essentially kills any creature found indestructible. But yeah, pay additional mana. And we got an Incendiary Sabotage for 2 colorless and 2 red. Instant speed spell. As an additional cost to cast it. Incendiary Sabotage, sacrifice an artifact, so it does require another additional cost. Incendiary Sabotage does 3 damage to each creature. Now guys, that is not each opponent creature, that is each creature in general. This is a board wiping card. So let's say you have 1 artifact on the card on the battlefield, and this guy has a whole bunch of guys. This is your chance to wipe the board. Have a Queen Slate, instant speed casting, by the way. So you can wait to do this on their turn, you can wait to do this on their turn. Then we got an Aether Meltdown, which is a colorless and a blue. Enchantment Aura Flash, which, guys, I love flash cards. Whenever it enters battlefield, you gain 2 energy counters. Enchant creature or vehicle enchanted permanent gets -4/-0. So this is one of those negative artifacts I was speaking about before. It has flash, so you can cast it at instant speed. So that's pretty good for making sure something's not gonna mess you over too terribly much, and either severely cripple a vehicle, or you can severely cripple a car that you really just don't want to deal with, and make that thing essentially a defender at that point. Okay, then we have an Aether Storm Rock, 2 colorless and 2 white for a total of 4 mana. It's a creature, it's a bird, it has flying, guys. When Aether Storm Row or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain energy. This is pretty good for energy synergy, especially if you just, oh my gosh, guys, you play this card, you play that angel on turn 6, you play another one on turn 7, and you should start generating infinite amount of energy, guys. There we go. We have the infinite energy combo. We've already theory crafted it. Whenever it attacks, you may pay 2 energy. If you do put 1/1 counter on it, tap up to 1 target creature defending player controls. So guys, it's a one-time thing though. But it is a permanent 1/1 counter, so that's not going to go away, guys. So that's pretty good. Anyways, guys, let's move on to our next booster. Still no mythic quality cards yet. Is it mythic? Mystic! I've been calling these things mythic. Like I said before, I've been playing way too much. I'm thinking mythic dungeons for some reason. Mystic. Jeez. Oh wait, is mythic. Isn't it? I don't know anymore. I don't know. We're just gonna call them mythics because I think they are mythic. I don't know why I thought to mystic. Maybe Pokemon Go. I haven't been playing that game since like release month. Okay, guys, let's get back to the video. Which is, I'm gonna play this video so much. Select for inspection. 1 blue, instant speed. Return target tap creature to its owner's hand and scry 1. That's pretty good. I mean, I'd probably run this card in a blue deck. I mean, scry and cry, man. Scry and cry. And also, you return a target tap creature. Except there's also creatures that you get more worth out of because they kind of return tap creatures to their hands. So I think it's decent. Not really sure. I might run this in a deck. I don't know. We got another Blade Master. We probably have a playset of Blade Masters by then, or at least 3. Then we got a Prakata Pillar Bug. Artifact creature. It's a insect. Pay 1 black. It gains lifelink until end of turn, which I love lifelink creature. This is a 3 mana costing card though. For 2/3, it might be worth it, but you have to pay another 1 mana to actually get that lifelink. I don't know. I don't think it's too worth though. I mean, it's decently worth it. Guys, we're back. I'm back. I apologize. I had to check my phone, and then I had to get a drink because my throat's parched, guys. I'm doing this all live, so I have like no breaks between this aside from when I actually pause the video, which is far and few between. Anyways, guys, let's continue going on. We had Engineered Might, 3 colorless, a green, and a plains, or white, whatever, for a total of 5 mana. Choose 1. Target creature gains +5/+5 and gains trample until end of turn. Okay. Creature you control gain 2+2/+2 and gain vigilance. Wait. And gain vigilance in end of turn. Honestly, guys, if you are playing this card, you are either... I mean, this is sorcery speed, by the way. If you're playing this card, guys, you're going for that second ability. That first ability should not even really be an option. It is situationally good, but a lot of times, guys, by the time you want to actually pay that 5 mana, you don't want a 5/5. I could pay 2 mana and get a +4/+4, and I could pay probably another 2 mana for another card. I know this card combines them both and gives you that 5/5, but guys, I think that this card is going to mostly be used for that secondary effect. Because, I mean, that's a +2/+2 and gives them vigilance until end of turn, even though there's a few other cards that act like this, except they give you more worth. I don't like this card. I don't really see it being played too much, and if it is, it's only going to be played for that second effect, situational that first effect, but very far and few times in between for that, and I just don't think it's that good of a card. Then we got Visionary Augmenter for 2 colorless and 2 white. It has Fabricate 2. It's a 2/1, guys. I know I haven't really been speaking much of the attack and defense on them. However, I'm pretty sure you should be able to see that, but I'm sorry about that, guys. Gosh, I just apologize a lot. Okay, guys, and we have our rare, which is a Midnight Oil, 2 colorless and 2 black, rare enchantment. Midnight Oil enters the battlefield with 7 hour counters on it. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card and remove 2 hour counters from Midnight Oil. Your maximum hand size is equal to the number of hours on Midnight Oil. Whenever you discard a card, lose a life. Guys, this is another double-edged sword. There's just so many. I mean, I would not play this card early on. I'd play this card more late game. That way, you know what, you can get the additional you can get the additional card draw, start playing cards. But guys, eventually it's gonna get really bad to the point where your yeah, I mean, I don't know, I think that, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. However, guys, if you start flashing this card back in, you can get a lot of worth out of it, guys, because there's, like I said before, there's cards that you're returning enchantments or cards you control to your hand. So Midnight Oil is a card that I'd probably jump back into my hand, you know, when I'm feeling like I need to get more card draws, because, guys, at the end of draw step, draw an additional card and remove 2 hour counters. But if you don't have those 2 hour counters removed, what are you really going to do? Anyways, guys, I don't know how that's going to work. I might want to talk to a judge about that first. But anyways, let's move on to the next booster. Okay, guys, got another Thriving Rats. Got a Tiny Conclusion. 3 colorless and 2 black. Instant speed. Destroy target creature. Gain 1 life for each artifact you control. This is another artifact synergy card. So, guys, we have energy synergy. We have artifact synergy. A lot of things dealing with artifacts, though. So, pretty interesting expansion, I think, so far. Then we got a Narnam Cobra, which is 2 colorless, an artifact creature snake. Narnam Cobra gains Death Touch until end of turn. 2/1. Oh wait, I already said this Cobra. Jeez. The first card, I think this is actually the first card that I repeated. We got another Nature's Way, which I think I've already explained before. If I haven't, I apologize. It's Vigilant and Trample until end of, oh wait, I have. I just saw the second effect. I like that card. I'm going to be playing that card. Then we got Speedway Fanatic. I started repeating cards, but I'm sorry about that. It cost 1 colorless and 1 red. It's a human pilot. It has haste. Okay, whenever Speedway Fanatic crews a vehicle, the vehicle has haste until end of turn. Excuse me. You have a 2/1. Giving your vehicles haste, so essentially you can play that vehicle and immediately use it. That's actually a pretty decent card if you're playing a lot of vehicles, and the vehicles seem pretty fun. Then we got a Denavolt Tower for 3 colorless. Rare artifact. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you gain 2 energy. Pretty good for energy synergy. Pay 5 energy. It deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Guys, if you're running this artifact, you're mostly doing it for that instance or sorcery proc, because that 5 zap is not really too worth it. You can get a lot more worth from other things, but you know what? That zap will probably do alright, just in case you need the additional thing to finish someone off, or maybe finish off a creature. So I can see you situationally using that zap. I see you mostly using the zap as more of a, or you use that energy more for other things aside from the zap. Next pack, guys. About halfway through our 20. Geez, still no mythic. We got another Acrobatic Maneuver. We got another High Tide Hermit. We got a Sky Skiff. 2 mana. It's a artifact vehicle. Has flying. Requires crew 1. It's a 2/3. But guys, that's turning your 1/1 into a 2/3 on turn 2. Maybe okay, not really the best thing. We got another Aether Hub, by the way, guys, which is pretty awesome in case I ever want to do that energy synergy kind of thing with a whole bunch of colors. Then we got an Inventor's Apprentice. 1 red. Inventor's Apprentice gains +1/+1 as long as you control another artifact, or not another, another. I can't speak. Sorry. You control an artifact. Then we got a Pied Noir. It costs 2 colorless and a red. Legendary creature. When Pied Noir enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. So, you know, we create a flying 1/1 Thopter. For 2 mana, target artifact creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. And for 1, you sacrifice an artifact. Target creature can't block this turn. So, I mean, if you have a good amount of artifacts, I mean, you can probably start sacrificing some, or, you know, you could start mana sinking to give your little Thopter in the air some fighting power, but, I don't know, it's an okay card. I don't really think it's too good of a card, especially for 3 mana. Ooh, Adventurous Goggles. We got another Acrobatic Maneuver. We got a Welding Sparks, which is 2 colorless and a red, instant speed. Welding Sparks deals X damage to target creature where X is 3 plus the number of artifacts you control, which is essentially like a pretty good. I mean, if you're like before, if you're running a whole bunch of creature generation, a whole bunch of artifact generation, you're getting a pretty good worth out of this card. But guys, it only does it to target creature, which is the downside of this card, which I don't think is why it's too worth. It's pretty good for sniping a creature, but aside from that, it's not used for really anything. So guys, I probably would not put that kind of card in the deck. Then we got a 1-mana artifact, Inventor's Goggles. Artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+2. Whenever an Artificer enters the battlefield, not an artifact, an Artificer, under your control, you may attach Inventor's Goggles to it, or else you'll pay 2 mana to equip it to whatever creature. And that's a +1/+2. Pretty good thing to be running, especially for running a whole bunch of Artificers, because that adds to your artifact pool, and that adds to synergy with those Artificers that add synergy to artifacts. Then we got an Oval Chase Daredevil, 3 colorless and a black. It's a human pilot. So pilots are going to be your things that synergize with vehicles fairly well. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may return Oval Chase Daredevil from your graveyard to your hand. Vehicles are artifacts, so this is going to pan out fairly well with artifact and vehicle synergy. So it could be a fairly good thing, because whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, I mean, this is a 4/2 that you're going to constantly be getting back to your hand. I mean, aside from that, it has no real value, but you know what? If you can get that 4/2 back to your hand, 4/2 is a pretty strong card to be playing around with. And also, this can be a pilot for a couple of your vehicles. Yeah. We got another Aether Meltdown, and then we got an Architect of the Untamed. 2 colorless and a green creature, Elf Artificer Druid. So this is another Artificer. I know I'm not reading all of what they are, but guys, just assume that they're either pilots, artificers, or some Aether soldier thing. So whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you get an additional 1 energy. Pay, what is that? 3, 6. I cannot count. That's about 8. Pay about 8 energy, create a 6/6 colorless beast artifact creature token. So that's going to be working out fairly well if you're playing with Energy Synergy, which I think I will probably be doing, so I might actually run that card in my deck. Next booster. Can we get a Mythic? Are there Mythics in this expansion? I kind of want to know. Okay, yes, we got another Avery Mechanic, we got another Glint Sleeve Artificer, or Artisan, sorry. But it's an Artificer. We got 3 Thriving Grubs. It's a gremlin creature. Gremlins. When Thriving Grubs enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. Whenever it attacks, you may pay 2 energy to get a 1/1 counter on it. I feel like I've listed this card off before, so I'm sorry for repeating it. Anyways, guys, it's a 2/1. It's an okay card. We got a Glimmer of Genius, 3 colorless and a blue, scry 2, then draw 2 cards, you get 2 energy. I mean, that's a pretty decent card. I mean, paying 4 mana, getting like 3 different effects, you're drawing 2 cards without discarding, which is really powerful, guys. You're also scrying 2 right before that, so you could actually see, it's like, are these good cards I want to draw? If they're not, bomb the deck, have a good chance to get something. If they're both cards that you really want, you're like, yes, I'm going to love these cards, going to keep them on top. So the scry's kind of nullified, and you're going to draw 2 cards. But that's okay. And then you're also getting 2 energy out, which is awesome. And then we got the Sky Whaler Shot. Destroy target creature of power 3 or greater. Sorry, this is a 2 colorless and a white. So you destroy target creature with power 3 or greater. So it's a 3-mana kill spell at instant speed. But it only requires 1 white instead of 2 different colors like the one we mentioned earlier. And you also get a Scry, and Scry is power, guys. Scry and Cry, man. Scry and Cry. Then we got another Architect of the Untamed. That's pretty cool. Got another Avery Mechanic. We got an Ambitious Aetherborn, which is a 4 colors and a black. It's an Artificer with Fabricate 1. It's a 4/3. Yeah, it's okay, but I mean, it's a 4 mana, so technically you're paying like 4 mana for a 5/4, which is, with no other actual effect, is kind of eh. And then we got a Spontaneous Artisan, or Artist, not Artisan, Artist. 3 colors and a red. When enters the battlefield, you get 1 energy. You pay about 1 energy. Target creature gains haste until end turn. It's okay if you're running, big creatures in your deck and kind of want to throw them out into the fray immediately, but, 1 energy for haste off of 4 mana, 3/3, it's kind of I mean, this is a halfway decent card, though. We got another Item License Disintegration, haven't seen that in a while. We got another Adventurer's Apprentice, haven't seen that in a while. And then we got a Smuggler's Copter, that seems pretty cool. It's a 2-mana artifact vehicle. Flying. When Smuggler's Copter attacks or blocks, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So guys, at least you get to draw that card first before you discard a card. It also has crew 1 into 3/3. It's actually a really good vehicle. I actually might run this because it has a lot of worth off that card draw, and also it turns my 1/1 into a 3/3 on turn 3, technically, because we're probably not going to be running this unless we're going to, run it for defensive purpose. Because it's attacks or blocks, so you can actually get a lot of worth out of blocking with this thing too. That's pretty awesome. Okay, got another Acrobatic Maneuver, got a Rush of Vitality. 1 colorless and a black, target creature gains +1/+0 and gains lifelink and indestructible end turn. That's pretty good. Because indestructible means it won't die, and the lifelink can mean, like, let's say you put this on a big creature that is about to be kill spelled, and you put this on him, you gain another 1 attack, you gain lifelink as well. He doesn't die. That's pretty worth it. It's at instant speed too, guys. That's what makes it awesome. So guys, that's pretty good uncommon in my opinion. And then we got Dakara Peafowl. 4 mana artifact bird. But you have to pay a blue to actually give it flying tail in a turn. It's a 2/4. So it's like a 5 mana bird. For 2/4 bird. It's okay. I mean, I might pick in a draft pool, but probably not in this pool. We got another Nature's Way, which I'm happy about. I really like that card. We got another Durable Handicraft. Not handicap. Jeez, that sounds bad. Yeah, but Durable Handicraft. Sorry about that, guys. If I offended anyone, I know a few of you probably triggered. I'm a bit tired. I've been reading so many things, and I speak faster than I read, guys, so a lot of my words get really messed up, so I apologize for that. Then we got an Insidious Wheel. It is 2 colorless and 2 blue, instant speed. Choose 1, counter target spell, or you may choose new targets for a target spell, or copy target spell, or sorcery, or copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for that copy. So guys, essentially the thing I find good about this is you're either going to counter a target creature spell, or you're going to make him destroy his own creatures or buff your creatures, or you're gonna copy that spell and use it on one of your guys as well. That way you may both be taking the benefit from it. So I mean, that whole copy the target instance or sorcery spell and then choose new targets for that copy is a little weird, because I mean, technically you're kind of giving both guys the benefit of it. But I guess in certain situations for certain cards that would work. But I don't see that third ability being used too terribly much. But it does have some situational value to it, I believe. Okay, guys, we got Fragmentize. It costs 1 white, sorcery speed, destroy target artifact or enchantment with converted cost 4 or less. So artifact destruction, that's pretty good. I mean, that even includes your like little tokens that people are going to be building, so you can always get a little bit worth out of it. 1 mana is not going to kill you. Then we got a malfunction, 3 colorless and a blue. Enchant target artifact creature when malfunction enters the battlefield. Tap enchant enchanted permanent. Enchanted permanent does not untap during its controller's next untap phase. So guys, this is just tap him down and he's going to stay down unless you find some way to untap him. Then we got a Gear Seeker Serpent. 5 colorless and 2 blue. Gear Seeker Serpent costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. 5 mana and a blue. I mean, this is a 7 mana card, 5 artifact, or 5 colorless and 2 blue into a 5 mana and 1 blue. The creature cannot be blocked. You know itself. A 5/6. Oh gosh, that's kind of worth because you know what? You're getting 5 damage off, unblockable unless they find a way to kill it or find a way to somehow mess around with the system, I guess, or you know, flash it back or something. But yeah, that's an expensive card for 5/6. That's like for another thing that'd be pretty awesome in draft, but not really sure if it'd have any place in normal. Then we got an Foundry Inspector. 3 mana, artifact spells you cast now cost 1 less. So that's pretty good. That helps you with playing your more powerful artifacts. We got another Arborback Stomper, and we gotta eliminate the competition, which is 4 mana or 5 mana total, 4 colorless and a black. Sorcery speed as an additional cost to cast. Eliminate the competition, sacrifice X creature, destroy X target creatures. So guys, this is an eye for an eye kind of deal. You know what, like, let's say you have a whole bunch of copy of 1/1s on the field, and this guy has, like, huge, you know, he has a few huge guys, and he has a few, minor guys, but still better than your 1/1s. Sacrifice all these 1/1s and essentially wipe his board. Okay, guys, now we got another ambitious Aetherborn. We got a Pima Outrider, which is 2 colorless and 2 green. Creature, it's an elf, artificer, trample, 3/3, and has fabricate 1, so it's about 4 mana for a 4/4 with trample. Pretty worth it. So I think that's actually a pretty good card, because I mean, Seedron is only a 4/5 of trample, but also has an awesome effect. But I mean, I would pay 4 mana for a 4/4 of trample. That's actually pretty decent. Then we got a Workshop Assistant, 3 mana. It's a construct. When Workshop Assistant dies, return another target creature card from your graveyard to your, or not another creature, sorry, and target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. So, I mean, this is a way to get your guy back, but it was all revolve around this guy dying, so he could be a chump blocker, take 1 for the team, get back your powerful guy you lost earlier, and bing bob boom, you're good. But he's only a 1/2, so that's a little weird. Then we got a Veteran Motorist, which is 1 red and 1 white. It's a dwarf it's a dwarf pilot. When Veteran Motorist enters the battlefield, scry 2, scry Power Man, scry and cry, because you're not going to get your pulls you need. You're not going to top deck success. Whenever Veteran Motorist crews a vehicle, that vehicle gets +1/+1 until end of turn, so that's pretty good synergy to run with vehicles. However, he's only a 3/1, so he is mostly going to be used with that vehicle unless the opponent has nothing on the battlefield. Then we got a Cloud Blazer, which is 3 colorless, a white, and a blue, 5 mana total. Pretty expensive card. It's a flying human scout. When Cloud Blazer enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and draw 2 cards, which is pretty good. I mean, you're paying 5 mana for this 2/2 flyer. But that's a pretty steep price. I mean, yes, you do get a draw you do get 2 draws, and you do get 2 life, and you do get that 2/2 flyer. So I guess it is kind of worth it. But this is a card that I'm not too happy about, but I can see it having some pretty good playability. Then for our rare, we got a Multiform Wonder, 5 mana, all colorless. It's an artifact creature construct. Construct, sorry. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 energy. You may pay 1 energy, and Malform Wonder gains your choice of either Flying, Vigilance, or Lifelink until end of turn. If you pay 3, you can get all of those. Then you may pay another additional energy, or you just pay this energy instead of paying any of the others, and it will get +2 -1 or -2 +2 until end of turn. So you can either make him a big blocker, or you can make him a little weak 5/1. You make him an Elemental Rager, but you can also give him Lifelink and Flying if they didn't have the flyer. I mean, cost you about 3 energy, but hey, that's about 5 health more for you, 5 less for them. It'd be worth it. It's a pretty decent card. Next pack. Okay, we got a Dramatic Reversal. Cost 1 colorless and 1 blue. Instant speed. Untap all non-land permanents you control. So that's pretty good. Like, let's say you just swung it all out. All your guys are down for the count. And then this guy's about to swing out all of his stuff because he pulled some weird fog or some weird board maneuver that kind of saved him. Untapped them, tricked him into attacking his whole board, and you just wiped out his entire board instead. I like that card. 2 mana is pretty well worth it for all the synergy that you can do with that. Then we got a Die Young, which is a colorless and a black for a total of 2 mana sorcery speed. Choose target creature, you get 2 energy, then you may pay any amount of said energy. The creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn for each energy paid this way. So this is a way to kill. This is like an energy kill spell in my opinion, or at least an energy weakener. But I'd say it's more of a kill spell because of the sorcery speed. Then we got a Terrain Elemental, 1 colorless, 1 green, 3/2, straight up, no flavor. It's just a 3/2 for 2 mana. Then we got a Filigree Familiar, 3 mana. I actually like this card. It's a artifact fox creature. It's a foxy creature. When Filigree Familiar enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life, and when this creature dies, you also get to draw a card. And that's not, you and your opponent get to draw a card. No, that's only you drawing that card. That's pretty good. And it's a 2/2, so you get a pretty good amount worth out of this 3 mana card. But it's relying on dying if you want to get that card. But hey, you get a little chump blocker, maybe a few additional damage out, depending on your luck. Then we got an Underhanded Designs, a colorless and a black. It's an enchantment card. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. For a colorless and a black, you may sacrifice Underhanded Design, destroy target creature, activate this ability only if you control 2 or more artifacts. So guys, I actually like this card. It's a uncommon black card that essentially works as that one we saw earlier did, the green one. Except its secondary effect is a kill spell that's reliant on having 2 artifacts up, as our other card was a buffer that relied on, you want to have a big board because it costs you 5 mana to do. Anyways guys, that's pretty good. You know what? Artifact synergy right there. And also, if you're playing in a two-headed giant game, and that's technically 2 damage instead of 1. So that's pretty good. And then we got another Insidious Will. 2 packs left until we're buying more, guys. Don't worry, it's not going to end here. We got our first Mythic quality, finally. Okay, we got a Nimble Innovator, 3 colors and a blue. When Nimble Innovator enters the battlefield, you may draw a card. We got another... so it's a 2/2 for 3 colorless and a blue. I don't really find this card too worth it. It's a 4 mana 2/2 that gives you a card draw. It's okay, but it's a common for a reason. Then we got an Ambitious Aetherborn, another one. I've already explained that one. We got an Eager Construct, 2 mana, both colorless. It's a construct, of course, by the name. When it enters the battlefield, each player scries 1, so you're also giving your opponent a scry. So, this is a 2 mana 2/2, and you get a scry out of it, but it's a double-edged sword to where your opponent's also getting scry, but that's not that big of a penalty for you. Scrying can give you power, But I mean, if they scry and keep on top, it also gives you some useful information. Or if they scry and put on bottom, it also gives you useful information. Then we got an Aether Torch Renegade, 2 colorless, and a red. It's a human rogue. Jeez, I've been talking for like... This video is probably about an hour of me opening packs. Jeez, I didn't know how long to talk for. When you enter the battlefield, you gain 4 mana. You may tap Renegade, or the Aether Torch Renegade. Pay 2 mana, or 2 energy. Aether Torch Renegade deals 1 damage to target creatures. So... I don't really like that. That's not that good of a card, in my opinion. I mean, the 4 generation off it, sure. 3 mana, 1/2 though, a little iffy. The paying 2 to only do about 1 damage to a target creature, not really worth it. However, its next ability is you may pay 8. Aether Torch Renegade deals 6 damage to target player. However, it still requires you to tap them, so these are one-time effects. I don't really find this card worth it, guys. I think that card should be more a common quality instead of an uncommon quality. Because, jeez, it requires you to tap the card and it requires you to have so much energy usage. I'm pretty sure you can find some better things to do with that energy. So we got a Sky Whaler's Shot. Instant speed, 2 colorless, and a white. Destroy target creature. Power 3 greater. I've already said this one. Sorry about that. And you also get Scry. I already started it. I'm going to finish that one. Okay, then we got Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Your first mythic pull out of this group opening, which kind of sucks because we've opened a lot. It's 2 colorless and 2 red, which is good because I really hated seeing, the expensive Chandra from before. Okay, let's see what these abilities do. So her +1 is exile the top card of your library. You may cast that card. If you don't, Chandra's Torch of the Defiance deals 2 damage to each opponent. So this is like playing Aberrative Carol Keep, but better, because if you choose not to play this card, or you can't play this card, you're doing 2 damage to each creature. That is great for Two-Headed Giant, or each player, sorry. But yeah, I actually love this card. I mean, this is a really good Chandra. They did a really good job in this. Then, I think that's a +1. Can I zoom in? I cannot zoom in. That looks like a plus though, guys. And that's add 2 mana to your mana pool. Still really good, really worth it. Then that's a -3 Chandra's Torch of Defiance deals 4 damage to target creature. So that's a way to kill a creature down. And that also, if you play this thing just to kill that creature, you will still live. You'll still be alive unless they, hit you for 1. And then she has a -7. You get an emblem that says, whenever you cast a spell, the emblem deals 5 damage to target creature or player. That is insanely powerful, guys. I love this variant of Chandra. Keep her alive for 4 turns, guys. And she goes off, guys. That is amazing. Technically, just have to keep her alive for 3 turns without getting hit, and she will go off like crazy. Jeez, I like this card. I love this Chandra. I actually might play red, or I may play a combination of green and red, because that is a great Chandra. Man, 4-man Chandra, I love it. Another, as soon as I said we weren't getting mythics, we're starting to get mythics now, guys. Okay, we got a Spontaneous Artist. Guy in Narnom, Cobra, Prakata, Pillarbug, Unlicensed Disintegration, all cards we've seen before. However, now we got a Weaponcraft Enthusiast, 2 colorless and a black creature, Aetherborn Artificer, Fabricate 2. So it's okay. It's not that good of a card. I mean, you're technically paying 3 mana for a 2/3, which is okay. Or you're paying 2 mana to make 3 creatures. It's actually pretty good. I mean, if you're playing this card, you're most likely going to play it for the fabricating the 2 colorless servo artifacts. And then our mythic is the Sky Sovereign Console Flagship, guys. A legendary artifact vehicle. It's flying whenever Sky Sovereign Console Flagship enters the battlefield or attacks. Deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker opponent controls. Guys, this targets planeswalkers. That's 3 damage off of free damage off the bat. I mean, you could say, okay, I declare attackers, do 3 damage to that and make him block for something else, or do 3 damage to a possible blocker as kind of a forced decision, but you'd mostly want to use that as a kill maneuver. Crew 3, which is pretty good because this is a 5 cost card and it's 6/5 with flying. I like this card, guys. I really like this flagship. Okay, guys, we have to buy more packs. Oh, gosh. Looks like we're buying in packs of 2. Because I'm barely off of being able to buy that 11.25. Okay, guys, let's see what we get. So, guys, we got another Fragmentize. We got another Die Young. We got a Hijack. 1 colorless and 2 red. Sorcery speed. Gain control of target artifact or creature until end of turn. Untap it. And it gains haste until end of turn. So this is just kind of a temporary takeover to hurt your opponent a little bit with their own creature. I mean, you can get a pretty big thing out of that. So even for 3 mana, it's pretty worth. Then we got another Durable Handicraft, guys. This is the card I was talking about earlier that has that black equivalent. Then we got a Shrewd Negotiation. Another one of them. Then we got a Lathnu Helion. 2 colorless and a red. It's a Helion creature. It has haste, a 4/4. And when it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy at the beginning of your end step. Sacrifice unless you pay 2 energy. I mean, this is a 3 mana 2/2 with haste, so it's okay. I think this is one of those $1 garbage rares, guys, to be completely honest. I don't really like this card that much. Because it doesn't... So, I mean, it does generate the 2 off of coming onto the battlefield, but I don't really see too much worth out of using this card. But, I mean, hey, it could go alright. Could go alright. Next booster. Okay, my friend's gonna be coming soon. I think you guys saw that combo classic. I changed my Steam too. Great. So guys, this pack we got another Quint Sleeve Artisan. We got another Select for Inspection. We got a Consulate Skygate, which is 2 mana wall defender artifact. Has reach and it's an 0/4. So that's actually a pretty good wall. 2 mana 0/4 with reach. So you're blocking flyers out with that too. Then we got a Kazer's Condition. Sorcery speed for 2 colorless, a black, and a green for a total of 4 mana, guys. Creatures with no counters on them get -2/-2 to end a turn, guys. That even affects your own creatures. I'd be really careful with this card. You know, if you have, like, if you're using that green card that's generating all those, you know what, counters on all your guys, you'll be okay. And, you know, you can really mess with your opponent, especially clearing boards with this card. 4 mana, it's pretty expensive, guys, but I think it's pretty worth it, especially if you're running cards that are buffing up your creatures. It can go pretty well. Then we got a Master of Inquiries for 1 blue. Okay, guys, anyways, back to it. It's a 1/2, guys, for 1 blue, so that's already pretty good. When enters the battlefield, you also gain 2 energy. Oh, God. Don't want to clown on him. Okay, he's parking, guys, so I'm going to pause the video and then continue after this. So, guys, Minister of Inquiries. You may pay 1 energy. Target player puts the top 3 cards of his library into his or her graveyard. That's going to be fun for milling, guys. I definitely want to get more of these guys because I love the mill strategy. I'm going to, you know what, I'm pretty sure we also can use Origins for this stuff for the online version. So this is going to be pretty shenanigan-y. Okay, guys, we also got a Beaumont Courier. 1 colorless artifact creature construct with haste. Whenever Courier attacks, exile the top card of your library face down. Don't look at it, guys. Discard your hand, sacrifice the Courier, put all exile cards from this thing. You know what? Every card you've been exiling with this, it's like, let's say you swung 7 times at the thing. It's a 1 mana card. Swung 7 times with this thing, exhaust your entire hand, pay 1 red, discard your nothing hand, and you get a whole new hand. That's a pretty awesome card, guys. I love this artifact creature. It's a pretty good card to be playing around with. Okay, guys, let me be right back. Because I have to go get my friend. I don't have too much left to do for it. Just be a bit quiet while I do it, okay? Click and mouse.
Sup, fuckers? This is Big Nigga talking.
I have it paused still.
I feel bad, man. What the? What is that?
One of those little pad things.
Oh.
I thought I'd get one because I wanted to practice my art a bit.
I was very confused. I'm like, is that just a really fucking hard mouse pad?
No.
I was very confused.
Okay, let's see. Oh, 2 more. Wait, 3. So let's say I can do 3 more things for a total of 5. Alright, I have returned. Sorry about that. Had a huge break in between. Okay, so let's keep going. Don't have that much left. Open. Okay, guys, we got another fragmentize. We got another Catharic Reunion, another Hijack, another Aether Torch, Renegade, Console Shield Guard, 3 colorless and a white. When Console Shield Guard enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy counters. When Console Shield Guard attacks, you may pay 1. If you do, another target attacking creature gains indestructible until end of turn, and it's a 3/4 for 4. Fairly good deal, except you can't really target your... Wait, can you? Yeah, no, it's another target attacking. So you cannot really target yourself for that. We got another... I don't even feel like saying it. I'll look another mythic. So we got the Foundry Screecher, which is a 2 colorless and 1 black. Flying, Foundry Screecher gets a +1/+0 as long as you control an artifact. So technically 3 mana for a 3/1, but flying, yeah, not really that good. We got another Live Fast. We got another Pima Outrider. We got another Hazardous Conditions. We got another Blossoming Defense, not Blooming. And we got a Sahira. 1 colorless, 1 blue, and 1 red. +1, scry 1. Blah blah blah, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Oh, that's okay. It's an okay +1. It's also a 3 drop, so that's not bad. -2, I believe that is. It's really hard to see. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact creature you control, except it's an artifact in addition to other types. That token gains haste, exile at the beginning of your next end step. Okay, it's alright ability. It's -2 though, so can't really use that as much. And -7, search your library for up to 3 artifact cards with different names and put them onto the battlefield to shuffle your library. Pretty good +7, but it takes a while to get up there. Okay, let's do another 2. Okay guys, we got a Sky Whirl Harrier, 4 colorless and a white flying bird creature. Okay, so it is a 3/4. 5 mana for 3/4 flyers, and okay, especially for a common, so maybe an okay draft pick, but probably not a good standard pick. Got another pair of Adventurous Goggles, another Sky Skiff, another Adventurous Apprentice, Diabolic Tutor, 2 colorless and 2 black, sorcery speed spell. Search your library for a card and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Fairly good, you know, look for a card, put it in your hand. Yeah. Just a tutor as usual. Bit expensive, but for what you're getting out, it's pretty worth it. Except it's only at sorcery speed. And then we got a Fateful Showdown, 2 colorless and 2 red, instant speed. Fateful Showdown deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of cards in your hand. Discard all cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. So guys, essentially this is just grab a creature or just deal a little bit of damage to a player because you have a crap hand, and just reload it. Next booster. We got a Curio Vendor, 1 colorless and 1 blue for 2/1. That's okay. No real flavor there, though. Then we got a Prakata Club Security. Just a 3 colorless and 1 black for a 3/4. No special effects. Seems like a very basic pack. We got another. Now we got a Baston Mastodon, 5 mana. For 1 white though, it gains vigilance until end of turn. It's a 4/5. Okay, decent artifact, especially for a common. We got another Speedway Fanatic. We got another Ender-handed design, and we got another Bomac Carrier. And for our last pack, let's see what we get. Open the booster, and we got another Rush to Vitality. We got a Kujor Sculptor, 1 colorless, 1 green. It's an Elf Druid. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It is a 1/2 for 2. Fairly decent for a common. Then we also got another larger than life. We got a Fairgrounds Trumpeter, 2 colorless and a green. At the beginning of each end step, if a 1/1 counter is placed on a permanent under your control this turn, put a 1/1 counter on Fairgrounds Trumpeter. So that's pretty good. I mean, if you're running that 1 green where you're playing cards and you're playing 1/1 counters on things, you can just start getting this guy pretty high up. 3 mana for a 2/2 is not too bad for that effect. And then you can put him. Then we get a Trusted Companion, 1 colorless, 1 white. It has vigilance, but it cannot attack alone. It is a 3/2 and requires someone else to be attacking with it. And then we got a Metalwork Colossus, 11 mana. It can be any color. Metalwork Colossus costs X less to cast, where X is the total converted mana cost of non-creature artifact you control. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, return Metalwork Colossus from your graveyard to your hand. They're pretty good for running an artifact only deck. Well, that's all for our booster packs. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys next time.